Hey guys, welcome to fourth quarter. How's everybody doing today?
What's going on?
Good.
All right.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the life. Welcome to the life. All right, so I'm gonna start off with Corey with this one, and then I'm going to Craig. Antonio Brown. He left the Jets mid-game through his pads, his gloves. What are your thoughts on Antonio Brown leaving the game? And will he ever play in the NFL again?
For the second part, if he would ever play in the NFL again, it would take someone incredibly stupid like Jerry Jones to take that gamble. Michael Gallup just went down with an ACL injury, so who knows? But it's hard to imagine that anybody would be willing to take a chance on him at this point. Then again, if they feel like the talent outweighs the risk, they're going to do it. From what I've seen and heard, the team is claiming they were trying to put him back into the game so that he could hit his contract incentives. His side is claiming that he felt the team was mishandling an ankle injury of his. I'm sure the truth is somewhere in the middle in there, as with some of this stuff. But look, for a while now, he's looked like a guy that's been essentially, not literally, screaming for help. This is just another example along the way. Hopefully there are enough people around him that will get him the professional help that he needs. And hopefully, for his sake, his long-term well-being will be looked after, and not just his short-term financial and playing career.
All right. I can't wait to hear from Craig from this one, man. Craig, Antonio Brown, man.
I mean, I don't have any really negative things to say. Obviously, the whole mental health thing is a thing that he's going through. I believe so. It'd have been nice to come in here and just dog him for what happened, but I'm not gonna do that. So I think that I'm not gonna do that.
Craig is getting older. You're changing, man. The new leaf.
I mean, it's something to do with his mental health. Like I don't want to laugh and put ha to that. So it's a serious thing. I think he's had issues for a while. But I'm not gonna. At the same time, I'm not gonna just look over his past and what he's done in the past with Pittsburgh, with Oakland at the time, with everything that came out with him when he was with the Patriots. So I can't just look over that, but at the same time, I'm not going to just dog him because I think he has something like that's mentally wrong with him that he needs help. So I hope he gets the help that he needs. Hope somebody comes out and helps him because he's a talented football player. But even putting the football aside, he's still a human being and he's still a person that is going through something mentally that he's struggling with right now. I don't know what that is. Maybe the truth will come out eventually one day. Like the next day, he was at courtside at the Nets game. So yeah. I don't really know where everything stands with him. But as far as him playing football again, I think it's possible. I see if you're really talented. Josh Gordon is a perfect example of a guy who's talented. Not the same situation, obviously, but he's been given multiple chances over the years with different teams. And he's had a habit that he's trying to get rid of, and he can't get rid of it really.
Motion detected at the front door camera.
Okay, but he hopefully if he gets a chance, and Tyreek Hill had some issues in the offseason, so you can look at Ray Rice as a guy who hasn't been back in the league. Maybe his situation would be more like him, but it's tough, man, because he basically just quit on his team. You look at that and you don't want to bring that in your locker room. You quit on your team like that. And I know some people were talking about maybe he can be put on the Cowboys. Maybe some other team will pick him up for the postseason. I don't know if you want to have that in your locker room or just trying to make a run right now. Yeah. Maybe next year you can evaluate him, but I don't even think he's a person that can be trusted. Just what happened with the last before this stop here, the last two stops he had, he didn't last long. Yeah. I think he played one game, and that was with New England. And it's just always something with him. So I think if a team is really desperate, and like the star wide receivers are gone or COVID happens or something like that, I can understand. I mean, not understand, but I could see a team signing him to play. I don't know what you're gonna have to do to come to terms with him. Like you have to, because you just never know what you're gonna get. You might get sane, cool Antonio Brown day one, and then like 2 days later, he's just going off the handle. So I don't know what to say about that, but I do think that there's a chance he can play again just because he's talented.
Yeah, I've been listening to sports radio all week. People have their different opinions. You know, Shannon Sharp has his opinion. What's his name? Rob Parker has his opinion. No, my opinion is, I just think I don't know what was said or what happened, but I've never seen that before in my life where a player. Listen, I've heard about the locker room, right? I'm retiring at halftime. I get that, right? But I believe that was Vontae Davis. He played corner, but
Yep.
So yeah, for the Bills, I think. But so I get that, but you know, mid game, I don't know. It's kind of tough to digest because I don't know what was going on and what was said, and he's still not cut. So I think they're trying to work out with the league with that now, but unfortunately, man, I wish. I don't know. Maybe he has anger issues, or I just think he should get some help, man. It's just I've never seen this before. I don't even know what to call it. It's not acting out. It's I don't know. You know, some people say he's acting out. Some people say other people enable him. He's a grown man. He's at that age he can't be enabled, and I don't know, man. I'm at a loss. And if it was something big, Tom Brady would have. You know, Tom Brady still has his back. So I just think he needs help, whether he wants to admit it or not. I hope he gets help. And I mean, I hate to see that because I don't vote like this, but people that we're going to talk about the Hall of Fame finalists later, but when he gets to the Hall of Fame, it's going to take him a while to get in, but he deserves it. But because it's off-field actions, I don't know. It's going to take him a long time. I disagree. I think you should judge for what's played on the field because it's a lot of Hall of Famers, NBA and NFL, that did crazy things. Just I don't think we heard about it, Corey. I'm just saying, like, I know some, you know, it's all good, but I don't know.
I agree,
man.
he will get in eventually, but
Yeah.
much like I think it's similar to the TO discussion for the Hall, that I don't think that it's just on the field. I think you have to look at everything involving the team. Like TO blew up and wrecked 2 different locker rooms. I don't think you can ignore that in the Hall of Fame voting.
Yeah.
AB is, you know, Godwin's down for the year. He was going to be leaned on for this playoff run in what may be the last year or the second to last year of Tampa Bay Super Bowl window, and he just dipped. Like I feel like it's, and that potentially being the closing argument on his Hall of Fame chance, I think it's going to hurt him, and I kind of feel like it should.
Yeah, I just hope I hope he just heals, man. I do. I really do, man. He's a great player, but sometimes, you know, people are dealing with issues that are unknown, and it might seem okay on the surface, but deep down, it's, you know, they're going through some stuff. So I really do hope he gets help. You know,
He's had incidents at every single stop.
every single stop. It's crazy.
I mean, he
off the field,
pushed his way out of Pittsburgh because he wasn't voted MVP by his teammates.
And he got on Facebook Live during a playoff speech. I've never seen that before.
He got into it with Big Ben. He didn't show up to practice, so he didn't play one game, something like that. Last game of the season 1 year.
Yeah, and they needed that to go to the playoffs.
he didn't play a game with the Raiders. He played one game with the Patriots, and he just quit on his team. Like I don't know, man.
Yeah. So, but he'll be okay. He'll figure it out. Hopefully, eventually. Yeah.
Do you think he'll play again? Did you answer? Did you say?
I don't know. It's tough at the age. If he says, "Man, I'm going to therapy," or I've changed. I don't know. The NFL I don't know, man. I'm be honest with you, Craig. The NFL some teams are by any means necessary, and if they want to win, they'll be like, "Oh, I can deal with them." I've seen that multiple times. I don't know. We'll see.
I think you hit it on the head there, James. If he comes out and says, I'm going to counseling, I'm getting the help I need, a team will give him a chance, because the last time we saw him on the field, he was playing at a very high level still.
Yes.
Because just look at the past. Yeah, Ray Rice never saw the field again after his incident, but that's because his production declined each of the 2 previous seasons before that incident. He was already on the downswing, and he was he was getting up there in age as a running back.
Yeah.
Randy Gregory got another shot in the NFL, even though he had a pretty horrific arrest report.
Yeah.
Why? Because teams thought that the Cowboys thought he could still help them.
Mm-hmm.
So if Brown is at least looking like he's serious about his mental health and taking care of that, I think a team would give him a shot.
I think they'll give him a shot, man. Well, they will, Craig. I don't. The NFL doesn't surprise me, man. By any means necessary, man. You know, some teams his production is crazy. Anyway, let's go back to his former teammates. I'm gonna start off, Craig, with this one. Big Ben definitely had an emotional going away. Heinz Field. You know, he says his last game in Pittsburgh. Craig, do you believe Big Ben is retiring, or do you think he's gonna, try again next year? And does he have something left in the tank?
Yeah, I hope he retires. I don't think he has much left. Like, this team is around him is talented, the players on offense, and they're just not getting the production that I think another quarterback that could do something with this team can actually do. I think he's hurting the team, even though they're 8-7-1.
Yeah.
I think it could be a lot better if they had a better quarterback. Russell Wilson on that team or something like that, or I don't know.
Could be Aaron Rodgers. We don't know.
Could be a lot of quarterbacks you could put on that team for the most part, and I think there would be really good production for that offense. I mean, they have 3 good receivers. Obviously, one of them's out, but they have a tight end that's emerging. That's a rookie. Got another rookie running back there, so you got a defense that's really good. Probably got the best defensive player this year on that team. So I hope that he's done. Like, I don't want to see any more Ben Roethlisberger in 2022. I think going out with your last game at home and you won the game, it wasn't like a Kobe 60-point type performance game at home, but it was a win. You got to perform. It was Monday night, last game of the season. You had all the eyes on you, national game. Like, this is the time to just go ahead and hang it up. Like, I don't know what situation he would go to next year, and I guess be the starter. I mean, I don't. Maybe if Seattle, but then that you're reaching to that point. You're taking a step back. So I really don't see it. Like, I just think he should just go out. You're a Hall of Famer. You can be the top Hall of Famer in this. What class would that be? 2027 or 2026?
Yeah,
you can be the top. Yeah, you can be the top one for that class at least, or one of the top ones. You can be enshrined as an all-time Pittsburgh Steeler. Like, there's no need to even come back. You won 2 Super Bowls? Like, no, don't even come back anymore. And then if you're Pittsburgh, I wouldn't want him back. I would try to find another veteran quarterback, because I think they're a veteran quarterback away from making a solid run. They're 8-7-1 with Ben Roethlisberger.
Mm-hmm.
And the top team has won 10 games or 10-6. You're not that far off.
Yeah,
you're not that far off. So like, if you just have a little bit solid quarterback play in like 3 games, you're 11. You got 11 wins, 10-11 wins right there. So I I don't know what the answer is for the quarterback situation. I don't think that Rudolph or Haskins is the answer for them, but I also don't think Ben Roethlisberger is the answer. Like I said, I just think they need a veteran quarterback on that team that they can put trust in and just hand the reins over to. But yeah, I don't think I wouldn't want to come back, and I don't think he's coming back. At least not with Pittsburgh. I don't think he's coming back at all. No team.
Yeah.
Not even Carolina Panthers. Nope.
Yeah. So I think you've hit a couple points on the nose there, Craig. I think Big Ben seems the type that we're not going to know until his body heals up. But he seems like he's going to walk off into the sunset. Like, I'm out. He's going to retire. I mean, do I see him? I just don't know. I think his arm strength isn't where it's at. I mean, the stats, he was 24 for 46 with 123 yards. That's 2.7 yards. It's 2.7 yards.
That's nasty.
I don't think he can do it. I think Ben is going to go out on top. I mean, listen, this isn't on top, but you're still going out with a winning record or a 500 record. Pittsburgh loves you. The owner came out and said you're already retiring as a Pittsburgh Steeler. I think he should, I was listening to Joy Taylor and Colin Hurd, and he said that Ben Roethlisberger is like one of those, he's the last of the old school quarterbacks where like you don't see him in any commercials. It's football and family. Like you go like Phillip Rivers, it's like it's my family, then it's football, right? So it's just funny to see, he's it's just the last of an era. And I appreciated Ben, man. He, I appreciate him, but I think he's done. Corey?
I don't know if necessarily his lack of commercials and being a spokesman is all his choice.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty rough background, kind of back there of numerous sexual assault complaints. I'm not
gonna say it on the. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it on the. He had a nickname. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
Craig. I'm not gonna say it. Craig knows what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna. Go ahead, Corey.
So yeah, I don't know. I definitely wouldn't put him in the same breed as Rivers with that, because I think Rivers actively chose not to do a lot of that stuff. Roethlisberger, I think that choice is made for him just with his record and the fact that any company that would bring him on would immediately take a lot of heat for it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, with all that said, I'm with you guys that he needs to retire. I'm not sure he does. I think if he was going to retire, I think he's got enough of an ego that, he would make it known that, that was going to be his final game, period, in Heinz Field on Sunday. I think there's something to the fact that that the way it was always worded was it's his final home game at Heinz Field. Yeah. Not his final game, just his final home game.
Yeah.
I think he might still feel like he can contribute and try to go somewhere else.
Man. Hope it's not to my team.
There you go.
I mean, I don't know where that landing spot would be. Seattle, if Wilson were to move on, would make some sense for both him and Carroll trying to bring in a name to replace Russell Wilson. Washington would make sense as a veteran option. I mean, they draft a quarterback, let him sit behind Roethlisberger for a year, and it's a big splashy name for Dan Snyder in a year that they're announcing a new name for the franchise. But I don't see his situation is kind of similar to Phillip Rivers in that the last 2 years with the Steelers, much like Rivers' last 2 years with the Chargers, you could see a decline in production and a decline in just the arm talent and everything else. The difference is I don't see a natural landing spot like Rivers had in Indianapolis at Frank Reich.
Yeah.
So I don't know where he goes, but I could see him sitting out there kind of a little bit like what Rivers did this year. not retire, be sitting out there. If injury comes up in camp, like, hey, call me up, I'll show up.
That's interesting, man.
But I think if he was going to retire, I think he would have announced it, and there would have been a lot of pomp and circumstance over it. The Steelers, I think, made it clear to him that their decision is he's not coming back, but I don't know that it's necessarily mutual right now.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Smart on their part.
It is smart, and
a year too late.
Yeah, a year too late. That's all I was going to get to. So now they bring him back, and they have no backup plan for quarterback. So it's going to be interesting to see how they maneuver, because Mason Rudolph is
trash.
Yeah, he's not that guy. He's not.
He proved that 2 years ago now that he's not that guy, and they still have him hanging around.
Yeah, which means Dwayne Haskins isn't doing something in the film room, or that has to be it.
And I'm not sure Roethlisberger would have been the guy to teach him that anyway.
Yeah, he don't teach that. Roethlisberger was like, I don't teach. You just got to watch and follow him and listen. But that is what it is. All right. Corey, Hall of Fame class. The finalists are announced for 2022. Now, usually it's between 4 to 8, but we're going to go 6 players and 2 contributors. So I'm going to start with you. What are your 6? So I'm going to go. Yeah, let's do your 6 players.
Okay. My 6 players, I've got Jared Allen.
Okay.
Had a phenomenal career. Kansas City, Minnesota. Felt like an easy choice. Rondé Barber, because I was shocked that he wasn't in already. I think Tony Baselli. I think he's long been waiting. I think he deserves to get in. Marcus Ware is another guy that I think is a surefire choice to get in. I think Richard Seymour should get in. And I think you got to put in a wide receiver. And I'm going to go with Torrey Holt. I think Reggie Wayne is more deserving than him. Wayne had more receptions, yards, touchdowns in his career. I think he was a better route runner, better hands, better run blocker. But with the way that it goes with wide receivers, it's just they have to wait their time and they get in. So Torrey Holt is the guy on the list that's been waiting the longest.
Yeah.
So I think you get him in, you get Reggie in a year or two. Andre Johnson will go in after that. But unfortunately, with the massive backlog that the NFL has right now, I think that's how that would play out.
Yeah. Okay. Craig, what are your 6 guys?
I'm definitely going Patrick Willis. I think he deserves to be in. I'm kind of shocked. I know he didn't play for a long period of time, but I'm kind of shocked that he wasn't already in.
Is this his first year or second year?
This is his first year as a finalist. This is third year. He's in his 3rd year of eligibility.
Yeah.
But he's never been a finalist before. But I mean, he played what, 8 years? I think he was 5-time All-Pro. So he spent more times as an All-Pro than he did in the league.
Yeah, I think he was 7-time Pro Bowler.
More than half. Yeah, 7-time Pro Bowler. Mm-hmm. So definitely going him. DeMarcus Ware is another one. Got to put him on there.
Yeah.
I was just looking at his stats. I didn't really look at him as a Hall of Famer, and then I looked at his stats and I was like, okay, got to put him on there. So he's definitely on there. I agree with Corey. Like, I got to put a wide receiver, and I picked Torrey Holt. I like Reggie Wayne. I really like Reggie Wayne from the U. But and I like Andre Johnson also from the U. Yeah. But I think Torrey Holt. I think Torrey Holt is underrated a little bit. People, I guess, they see Isaac Bruce. He got in.
I don't understand that. I don't understand how he made it before Torrey Holt.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. But but I like Corey said, I think he's been on the waiting list the longest, so I definitely got to put him in, at least for right now. And then Wayne and Johnson. Johnson's in his first year, so he's got a little ways. So those are my Zach Thomas. I like Zach Thomas, linebacker. His years in Miami were really good. These last two, man, are rough. I picked Jared Allen. I like what Jared Allen was. He's been in a couple different stops, but his time in Minnesota, that's where he kind of shot up the charts, I guess, became a beast. And the last one was tough, but I did pick Rondé Barber. Just looking at his longevity and his numbers that he had with Tampa Bay, spent his whole career with one team. It was between him and Leroy Butler for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like. I'm going with Rondé. Devin Hester was kind of interesting because he's just. I mean, obviously he's just a glorified special teams guy, but he's like his numbers are crazy for special teams. I don't know if anybody is going to ever get in as far as a special teamer. I think it's happened before. I can't off the top of my head. I don't really know, but
yeah, it's a couple.
He's definitely like one of those guys. I know people were talking about the radio guy in DC, B. Mitch, as if he should get in as a special teams guy. But Devin Hester's numbers are crazy, so I think he'll maybe get in one day. But yeah, those are my top 6.
All right, y'all gonna be shocked, man. I got Devin Hester in it as the first time, man. First time ballot. I think that 100th anniversary all time team kind of pushes him over the edge. That's I think he's on 3 decade. He's on 2 all decade teams and a 100th anniversary team. I think that just pushes him. That's all. He might not, but he's a first time finalist, and his record is crazy, man. That's the only. If he wasn't, I would be like, he has to wait, and he still might. But finalist in the first year, he is on the 100th anniversary list. I think they have the same voters. I wouldn't be surprised. Yes, I have DeMarcus Ware, first time. I do have Zach Thomas. I do have Rondé Barber, and I do have. So this could go any way. Like it could have went Patrick Willis. It could have went Richard Seymour, or it could have went Jared Allen. And so I picked Richard Seymour. And for the receiver, so I got all defensive draft. I picked Torrey Holt. Just he's been waiting. He's got some pretty good numbers. Unfortunately, I do like Andre Johnson, man. He's making it as a first-time finalist. Is his first year eligibility for a wide receiver. I think is huge. He's probably going to get in either on a second or third time. I think Patrick Willis is going to get in either next year, this year, this year. Tony Baselli, I was about to pick him too, but this is a lot of people, man. I had to compare some stats, and it got really, really hard. But I think most of us, we have the same people, but it got really hard, man. Besides DeMarcus Ware, I wanted to put Patrick Willis on there. I wish it was 8, but they put in the 2 seniors who I looked up. I don't know who they're going to select for that. They might select all 3. I don't know. But so yeah.
I was hoping that Steve Smith, that he made the finals, but he didn't make it. Maybe he'll make it next year when one of these wide receivers selected.
I like Steve Smith, man. I think he's going to wait, and I don't know what it. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what it is. Like when Andre Reed, it took Andre Reed 10 years. I was like, what? Andre Reed, the receiver from Buffalo? It took him a long time. I was like,
he take receivers a while for some reason, unless you're Randy Moss.
It took Chris Carter multiple times to get in. It took Marvin Harrison multiple times to get in.
Yep, which is crazy. It took Marvin Harrison multiple times. Chris Carter multiple times. I think the only first ballot, it was Randy and Jerry Rice, of course.
Yeah.
Which is in recent years, I can't think of anybody else besides those.
But it's crazy. They just make them wait. I'm gonna ask a voter one day, why do you make wide receivers wait? Is it other I want to know, because I think that's the only position that waits. I think linebacker does, but not as a wide receiver, man.
No, the
That's
wide receiver is the one
receiver.
that's got a large backlog. I remember a few years back, somebody had the suggestion that the NFL just needs to do one massive
Wide
Hall of Fame
receiver.
class so that you can get through a backlog at a couple of positions like receiver. And then that way, as these surefire guys are starting to come up, that they get it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Dwight Freeney, it's 2023. I looked him up. I said, okay. He'd probably be, if not first, second, I believe. That's just me. All right. We're going to talk about the playoffs, NFC and AFC. So we're going to start off with the NFC first. We're going to talk about who we think the number one seed is. That's Green Bay. They already clinched, of course. I'm going to start with Craig, then we'll go around to Corey and me. All right. The second seed, Craig, who do you have?
Because I think they're going to win Sunday. I'm sticking with the Rams.
Mm.
I don't see them blowing this chance to squander the second seed, so I got to stick with them. If I were to go the rest of them, I got to go Tampa Bay as the 3. They won the tiebreak with Dallas. They lost the tiebreak to the Rams. So, if they finish with the same record, which I think they will,
We got
they'll be the 3rd seed. They'll be the 3rd seed. Dallas, I still got Dallas at 4. They already won the division. They can't go no lower than that. So they're going to stay right where they are. Arizona, I got them at 5. They lost their opportunity to win the division and even get a top 2. I don't think they're even going to get a top 2 seed now at this point. The next one, because I don't think Dallas has much to play for. I guess technically they do because they play Saturday and Tampa Bay could lose. Rams could lose.
I don't know. I mean, they're funny. I'm thinking I don't know. They're in a position like their offense isn't playing good enough where you sit, but they're unhealthy. So it's.
I mean, I don't really see them moving anywhere. Technically, mathematically, they could move up because the Rams could lose, and then they could win, and then they'll be higher than them. But realistically speaking, it doesn't matter. So I think Philly goes to 6, and I actually think New Orleans. I think if New Orleans wins and San Francisco loses, they get in the playoffs.
They do.
So I got New Orleans at 7. They're playing the Falcons. San Francisco plays the
Rams.
So, and the Rams got to win to keep the number 2 spot. So, unfortunately, I think San Francisco's out.
It's gonna be a big one. We're gonna talk about that game coming up on my favorite topic. Anyway, Corey, what's your playoff seeding for the NFC?
Mine is right in line with Craig's. I think the Rams are in a position they need to win. I think they will win, especially with Jimmy Garoppolo's thumb being what it is. The Niners being a bit uneven this year. I think the Rams get together. Tampa, I think, will coast in Week 18. Leaves Dallas. I know they play Saturday and all, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just went ahead and sat guys in the second half, even if they are in a primetime game, just because they have to realize that it's an extreme long shot for them. So they're going to be playing wildcard weekend, so they might as well get as healthy as they can. And with the Niners losing, that gets New Orleans in.
All right. My NFC. This is kind of boring. I got the same. No, I don't have the same. I got the 49ers beating the Rams. They haven't. The Rams have not beat the 49ers since 2018. I think they keep the streak going. I think they're more physical. Now that's going to shake it up. That's going to shake it up because I think the Cardinals, if they beat the Seahawks and they win a division, they have did they play the Bucks? I don't know.
Who?
The Cardinals. Because if the Cardinals win and the Rams lose, do they flip?
The Bucks play the Panthers, I believe, don't they?
Yeah. No, but because I know the Cardinals have the tiebreaker over Dallas.
Oh, seeding wise.
Seeding wise. Do they go into the number 2 spot? If 49
If the Rams lose?
Yeah.
You talking about the Rams lose and
Yeah, Tampa shifts up.
Tampa shifts up to 2. And then the Cardinals are 3.
Yeah. And the Rams are 5.
Yep. I agree with that, man. I think the 49ers, I think they go to the playoffs, man. I think they're going to do a 2-quarterback system. People haven't seen it. I think they're going to be physical. They're going to run the ball. They're getting healthy at the right time. We'll talk about that later. I have the Eagles. Okay, so if that happens, we got the Packers, the Bucks, the Cardinals, Dallas. I don't know if Dallas. So, like I said to y'all earlier, like I don't know if Dallas, like so.
Dallas.
Listen, it's if they play their starters and somebody gets hurt, they could move up in seeding. But is it worth it to go into wild card weekend? You want to be healthy.
They can't move up at all.
Okay, so they can't move up, so they might as
They
well.
lost.
I think they're going to.
They already lost Arizona, but you don't know that on Saturday night. They're playing Saturday, so you wouldn't know that.
We wouldn't know that, yeah. Because they lost to the Bucks and they lost to the Cards.
The Cardinals, yeah.
And they didn't play the Rams. I don't think they played.
No, but it don't. But the Rams are they will be the 5th seed according to you if the 49ers win. So that wouldn't even matter.
Oh, thank you, Corey. So, that'll be. I think it is. I think 49ers is a team they're playing really good right now. Now we'll talk about that later in the who you got. So, all right. So, Craig, AFC.
Well, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I'm going with Tennessee at the 1. I just think their win last week and then combine that with Kansas City's loss, that really hurt Kansas City, in my opinion, to become the number 1 overall seed. So I'm going with them 1. Kansas City, I'm sticking them with 2. I got Buffalo at 3 just because the Bengals are sitting so many players. Mixon's out. Obviously Burrow's out. So
yeah.
They don't really care. I would seem like they're just trying to get healthy, so I don't think they really care about seeding as much. But they're going to be Buffalo's 3. I got Bengals at 4. This is tough, man. I got New England 5, and then I got the Colts at 6, and then pretty much the winning you get in game it could go either way, but I'm leaning more towards the better quarterback. And that would be the Chargers and Joe Burrow. So I mean not Joe Burrow. What's his name? Herbert, Justin Herbert.
Justin, yeah, that's your man too, man.
Air Bear.
So yeah, that's what I got. I got Titans, Chiefs, Bills, Bengals, Patriots, Colts, Chargers.
All right, Corey, what's your final seeding?
Mine lines up exactly with Craig's, especially today once the Browns announced that they were putting Baker on IR and that Joe Burrow was not going to be playing for, citing rest. Whether or not that's actually the case, we'll see. But I think decent chance Cleveland ends up winning that game. And, that would drop Cincy to the 4 because Buffalo has to win the division. And Tennessee has found their way somehow into the 1 seed. And the win and get in game. The Chargers are just all around better team. And it would be really surprising if they lost that game.
Yeah, I got the AFC. I feel like the AFC was kind of almost clear cut in a way for a couple weeks now. Besides the loss here or there, the Chiefs have been 1, 2, and 3. The Chiefs have been 1, 2, and 3. The Bills and the Patriots and the Colts have been around that 4, 5, 6. It's only So it's kind of you can almost see it. I can't wait till next week when we talk about
Oh,
the matchups. What's up?
wait. What was the order of 5, 6, 7 for you, Craig?
5, 6, 7 was New England, Indianapolis,
Oh,
Chargers.
Okay. My bad. I have Indy, New England, Chargers. So flipping 5 and 6 there for me.
Okay. Yeah, I have the Titans number 1, the Chiefs number 2. I have the Bills number 3. I think they're gonna must win. They're gonna win the division. I got the Bengals. Yeah, I got the Bengals 4. They're gonna. Bengals are smart. They're gonna rest their players. I have the Patriots 5, the Colts 6, and the Chargers 7. Now, Corey, you have the Patriots at 6 and the Colts
6.
at 5.
Yep.
So you think they lose to Miami?
We'll get into it later.
They could. They've been in Miami. You're right. They don't have a winning record in Miami, but that'll be interesting because it'll be the Colts.
Colts Bengals.
Colts Bengals. Ooh.
So
And
I will
Bills
say
Patriots. That's going to be some good football.
you'll get wildcard weekend. You would get Chargers Chiefs 3rd matchup.
Oh.
Bills Patriots 3rd matchup.
Oh.
And Colts Bengals. As infuriating as the loss was to the Raiders as a Colts fan last week, I think this might be a best case scenario for Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Because I know the Bengals offense has lit it up the last 2 weeks, but you look at Kansas City, Buffalo, or Cincinnati, you're going to want to play the team with a 3rd-year coach, 2nd-year quarterback, and a ton of youth all over the roster.
Yeah.
And then that would potentially put Indianapolis in line to face Tennessee.
Oh my gosh.
Divisional round, which that's probably the matchup that everybody coming out of wild card weekend wants.
Yeah. Derrick Henry will be back. That's going to be crazy.
We'll see how effective he is. But even back,
he has to get in game shape. You know, he just started practicing. They said he might get some reps. Be interesting.
I
don't know.
I saw on Twitter today that he did practice, but it was more limited. There was no bursts, no running, no cuts.
So he's gonna, which makes sense, shelve him until you play. That's 2 weeks from now. Yeah. Good extra deal. All right. So now, very interesting because Mo is not here. So I'm going to take the Rams and 49ers, which I think those are the most pivotal games. Would y'all agree? The Chargers and the Raiders, the Rams and 49ers, and the Patriots and Miami? Or do you? I think those are the most. I mean, Cardinals and Seahawks or Saints, and I feel like Saints are going to win. Cardinals are probably going to win, but I think these are going to determine the seeding in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the Bills play.
I think the Texans, Bills get the Jets.
Bills play the Jets.
The Jets. Okay.
The Titans get the Texans.
Texans, yeah.
For me, Arizona, Seattle. Being in Seattle, honestly, the only real interesting thing for me in that game will be Russell Wilson's demeanor.
Yeah.
Does he walk around that stadium and treat it as potentially his last time there as a Seahawk? Does he just treat it like any other game? That's the only real interest for me in that game.
That's going to be very interesting off-season topic. All right, guys. My favorite time of the evening, man. And who you got? Drum roll. All right, Craig. I'm gonna start off with you, man. The game you picked, the Chargers versus Raiders. Who you got?
Yeah, this is interesting because like this is a pretty even matchup to me. Like at least over the last 12 years. You just look at the history of these two teams, and through the 2000s, like 2010, I should say, to 2019, they split all 10 meetings, or 20 meetings, 10 to 10. So it's a 10 to 10 split there. And then last year it was another split. And then obviously early this year, it's the Chargers away. So this matchup has been pretty even. It could go either way. I think the Raiders are playing some of the best football down the stretch. They're looking pretty solid. So I can't. I was looking towards putting the Chargers in easily, and I still got the Chargers winning, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders win this game just because they're at home. They're playing a rival team. It's a night game, national game, and like this is a winner get in. There's still a chance both teams could get in. They need they really need the Colts to lose, and I think both teams can get in at that point.
If there's a tie, yeah.
No, I think if the
Colts lose and the Chargers Raiders tie, they both go in.
If the Colts lose, but the Chargers get in as well.
Yeah.
Colts lose, Chargers win, they both still get in. But if the Colts lose and the Raiders win, then the Ravens get in. If the Ravens still win, it's so much going on.
What?
But yeah, that's why
the Ravens. What? Wait a minute. So you're saying if the Colts lose and the Raiders win, the Ravens get in?
Yeah, at 9-8.
Wow.
But if the Steelers win, then the Steelers get in. And if the Steelers win, Colts lose, and the Raiders win. Or actually, it doesn't even matter. As long as the Steelers win and the Colts lose, then they're in. It doesn't matter who wins the Raiders.
Because of that tie. They have a better winning percentage.
Unless it's a tie. Unless it's a tie, then Raiders Chargers. It's just, you know what? I'm done.
It's a lie.
It's a lie. That's a rabbit hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but yeah, this matchup is kind of even, at least for the history. But offensively, I like the Chargers. I like Justin Herbert. He's having a really good season this year. Austin Eckler's he's a really good pass catching running back. They have their two wide receivers healthy compared to the Raiders, who just have one wide receiver. Darren Waller looks to be coming back. Maybe we'll see. Hopefully he does come back, because I just want to see the best players on the field at the time. Hunter Renfrow is playing like a late, I guess, backup replacement for a Pro Bowl. Jacobs looking solid as well. Derek Carr is, I mean, I still don't really trust him too much, but I think he's having a decent season. He has 21 touchdowns, nothing crazy. I mean, his yardage is up there, but I kind of give him a little bit of a pass just because of the talent he has. Defensively, I'm taking the Chargers, I think. But like the last, it's rough to say it, but over the last 4 of the last 5 games, the Raiders defense has only given up 17, 14, 13, and 20. They went into Cleveland and won a game they needed to win. They went into Indianapolis and won a game they needed to win. They went into Dallas even before that. They won into Dallas and they won. So it's just been like they've kind of starting to step up. They won a division game, tough game at home against the Broncos. So they're kind of winning games that they need to win. That's why it just wouldn't surprise me if they won this game. Coaching, I think coaching is even. Like I don't even really. For what happened in Vegas this year, and to come up and everything that's been going on, all the negativity, and then you had another mishap with Hobbs, I believe, with a DUI after the game against Indianapolis, and then just everything before that with the coach and everything that happened. Like he's done a solid job as the interim head coach. So I wouldn't, I think it's even, but at the same time, I'm still picking. I don't feel comfortable about it. I don't feel good about it. I'm picking the Chargers though. And if you look back at all these games, I believe 13 of these last 21 matchups have been decided by one possession or less. So I expect another close game, and I'm leaning 28-24 with the Chargers winning.
All right, Corey, Chargers versus Raiders. Who you got?
I'm kind of there with Craig. I went kind of back and forth on this game. You look at offensively, I would take the Chargers. Derek Carr is playing pretty well for what he has around him. He's right now in the last 3 weeks, he's had Hunter Renfrow and not a lot else. And even in that game against Indianapolis, Josh Jacobs was banged up most of the game and wasn't very effective. So Carr's doing a really good job with what he has, but Herbert and the Chargers, I think, just have better all-around skill position talent, have a better all-around offense. And Defensively, I do agree. It's actually pretty even. The Raiders defense was pretty awful for a while there, but I think having Ngakoue and Crosby on opposite ends there for pass rush tandem has they've been really good this season. And the defense, I think, has arguably overperformed, especially from where they were last year. Coaching wise, I mean, I would, I guess, give the edge to the Chargers since the Raiders are dealing with an interim coach. But I also think the Raiders are in a situation where they probably lucked out and got rid of Gruden early in the season, because I don't think the Chargers or the Raiders are where they are if John Gruden coached this team the whole season. I question the hiring Gruden. You know, we all trashed it and if said he deserved to go. I don't know how well he handles the rest of the turmoil that's gone on with that team, excluding his own departure. So I think it was a blessing in disguise for the franchise. But with all that said, I've got to pick the Chargers. I think Herbert has a higher ceiling than Carr. They've got better weapons. They've got a ton of talent on defense. But I do think the pressure is on Staley and with the Chargers, because they came out of the gate hot. They beat the Chiefs. You know, they looked really good for the first quarter plus of the season, and it's been a ton of inconsistency since. So you've got your young franchise quarterback. You're in a win and get in. You're in a playoff game essentially. There's no excuses, and I think they pull it out. But much like Craig, I have very little confidence in that pick.
Yeah, so this game is very interesting, because like y'all, I was like, I don't know. It could swing either way, literally. I don't know. So if we go offense, I gotta give the edge to the Chargers because of Herbert, the quarterback position. Even though Derek Carr, I mean, they better keep him. I mean, I think he's better than Kirk Cousins. So, I mean, I think he's an above average quarterback. This day and age, I think you need that in this league.
Oh yeah,
you know, to be consistent. So, but I got to give the Chargers. Austin Eckler, once again, he's proved this year beyond measure. He's a great running back, great pass catching back. So I got to give it. And then you got the outside weapons, Mike Williams, who I believe he had a good game last game. I know Keenan Allen had COVID. He should play this game. I believe so. So I got to give the offense to the Chargers, man. The defense, the Raiders defense has been playing really good, and they have some tough wins on the season. Tough wins. But I got to give, off talent and depth, I got to give it to the Chargers. Derwin James, you know, Joey Bosa. I mean, you got to give it to them. They got more Pro Bowlers. So, and on paper and on the field, the Chargers, I mean, I'm not saying the Raiders defense, I'm just saying the Chargers have more talent. And sometimes talent in these type of games, they show up and they make big plays. Coaching. Oh man, he's done a great, phenomenal job, interim coach. He's probably definitely going to get looked at. I don't know if they bring him on. The Raiders like splashy deals. We'll talk about that another time. I think somebody from college is going to go there, but we'll talk about that another time. So, but I got, you know what? I don't want to say it's a push, but like the Chargers started out hot. And this is what happens when you have veteran teams versus non-veteran teams, is that it's hard to be consistent when it matters. When you're in those must-win games, you kind of get deflated because the season is long. So you're going to get tired. You're going to, like we seen with the Colts, those veteran teams, even though they lost to the Raiders, they've won some must-win games, big games in December because they have veterans. And they know how to treat their body, and they know how to come in. They know how to prepare. So, you know, that's a difference. But that definitely has to get improved on, or he's going to be out. That's how the not for long league goes. So I don't know. This game, I was up. I was up and down, man. This could go either way. I can't wait to watch it. I think it's going to be a phenomenal game. But like y'all have the Chargers pulling out just based on talent, and it's going to be a one-score game. So I got the Chargers 24-20. It's going to be close, man. I'm like, if the Raiders win, I'm not going to be like, oh, how did that happen? It's going to be like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think you hit it on the head there, James. It's when you get into a playoff game, you lean on your difference makers, your stars, and the Chargers just have a few more and better difference makers on the roster.
Yeah, that's with everything, man. That makes a difference in games. The talent, whether it's basketball or football.
I will say, if the Chargers lose this game, I think Staley's name comes up on hot seat lists start next year.
Oh, okay, I got it. Not this year. Okay. Because then it gets to the point of why'd you even get rid of Anthony Lynn?
Yeah, you go into year 3 after choking away a playoff spot and just being as uneven as you were to end the season.
Yeah.
The pressure will definitely be on for them to make the playoffs.
Yeah. So, all right, Corey, New England versus Miami. Who you got?
All right. So after last Sunday, this might seem like an odd game to pick. The Patriots routed the Jags, as I'm sure everyone expected. The Dolphins, desperately needing a win to keep their playoffs hopes alive, got routed by a team like the Titans, which is a bad look for them. Everything about this game says the Patriots should win easily and take the 5 seed in the AFC. Offense, coaching, defense, all of it leans New England by a lot.
Yep.
But there's one thing that I think makes this game very interesting, and that it is in Miami. Most football fans probably look at it like, oh, the Patriots have dominated the division for 20 years. Why would it matter? But Bill Belichick and the Patriots have historically struggled when playing in Miami in December or later.
Yep.
I knew this was a thing, and it wasn't until I actually looked into it for this that I saw just how bad it is. Belichick's record in Miami at the end of the season is 1-8.
Damn. That's crazy.
There's no way he has that bad of a record against any opponent at any time.
Damn.
Other than that. So it makes absolutely zero sense why the Patriots have struggled like that through Belichick's tenure. And my pick, I feel not going to make any sense either, but I'm going to go with history, and I'm going to say the Dolphins somehow knock off the Patriots 21-18.
Okay. Okay. That wouldn't totally shock me because of the record. But you're right. Offense, I'm going to go with the Patriots across the board. Well, not receiver. Waddle. It's an excellent receiver, but running backs.
All around offense, yeah.
Yeah, overall offense. Defense, of course, overall Patriots, but the Dolphins defense, I know they got annihilated by the Titans, but they're really high in the turnover ratio, so they get turnovers. And coaching, of course, we're going to go Belichick. Now, Corey, you made some good points. I know they always struggle in Miami. I didn't know he was 1 for 8. But this is going to be very interesting because I don't think he plays well against Brian Flores. I don't know. For some reason, Flores got his number. And once again, I'm picking the Patriots, but I'm not going to be surprised if it's the Dolphins win because I've been saying it all year long. You're going to have to depend on Mac Jones. And I don't think he's that guy yet. I say he never will be. I just don't think that Belichick trusts him, as much as people are led to believe. And I think that he's played great for a rookie, but I just think that Flores has something up his sleeve for the defense. Who's going to mix some packages in. Because if you stop the run and force Mac Jones to throw, it's not a good outlook. So With saying all that, I still have the Patriots, but it's going to be real close, 23-20. And you're right, Corey. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins got an upset here. All right, Craig.
Well, just looking at everything, the history, like I did with the Patriots, with the Chargers and Raiders, and Corey brought up everything. Like I can understand why the team, I guess, the pick would be the Dolphins. They kind of own the Patriots. And you got a cold team going to a hot environment at home. So, and it's late in the season. So, if you were New England, you definitely would want to flip flop this game in the first game of the season. But, it is what it is. But offensively, yeah, I'm taking the Patriots. I know Jalen Waddle's on the other side and Devontae Parker as well. And Gesicki or Gillespie, whatever the tight end's name is, he's playing. He's decent. Then you got Tua. He was terrible last week, but overall for the most part, like he's been solid. You got the Patriots. The Patriots don't really have any splashy names, but they have a good running game, a solid running game with a couple of running backs. Mac Jones, as long as he doesn't turn the ball over, he's decent. Playing the Jaguars, but he had a really good game last week. Nothing to get all excited about, but like this is a game that you want to put your stamp on everything. Yeah, you're in the playoffs, but like this is a big game for Mac Jones to show not only the Dolphins, but to show the NFL what he's made of and what he can do going into season number 2. So I think there's a lot of pressure on him, whether it's warranted or not. I mean, you're in New England, so there's definitely gonna be pressure, and you're playing quarterback. So he has big shoes to fill with Tom Brady there, used to be there. But I'm taking the Patriots offense. I think they have a solid running game. And I don't know what the backs are doing in Miami.
They're crazy. Don't pick
them all over the place. Defensively, I'm definitely sticking with New England still. The defense, besides that Bills game, the defense, and maybe even the Colts game, their defense has been pretty solid. Besides the Colts game and the Bills game, their defense has been pretty solid. The Dolphins, you look at it and you look at the schedule and see who's on the schedule. Like they haven't really played anybody. Even that Saints game, it was just a backup to the backup's quarterback to the backup.
Yeah, it wasn't Am Book, right?
Yeah, it was four. It was 2 backups, 3 backup quarterbacks. So he's
a guy who probably won't see an NFL field again.
No. It might be a great coach though.
Yeah, and then they go into Tennessee and then they get blown out. So they finally played a team that was for the most part healthy, and they just let you can't let Deontay Foreman go for 132. So
that's crazy.
He was going to pound them with their Harris and I can't remember another guy's name who's playing back on the roster, but he's a solid running back as well. What's his name?
Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah,
he's balling.
Yeah, so I think they're going to just pound that defense and going to wear them down, and like they're just done out of the game. But I think it's going to be close, but I think the Patriots do wind up winning this game. I'm going 24-19.
All right, yeah, I think it's going to be closer, and it will. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if Miami sneaks it out. I don't know, man. I don't think they would, like Corey said, with Belichick's record, Brian Flores wanting to make a point. They're out of the playoffs, but make a point to finish the season strong at home. Miami's going to be focused, and I hope the Patriots are focused because it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be an easy win at all.
Well, New England's record on the road, they've only lost 1 game, and that was the last game they played, which was against the Colts. So they're 6-1.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I hope they're just once again locked in. This is the time of the year. This is the playoffs. Really, it started maybe 2-3 weeks ago. So, all right, this is the last one, and it's the 49ers versus the LA Rams. So I'm going to start off with this one. The offense of LA Rams, I'm going to give it to the Matthew Stafford, OBJ, who is emerged as a red zone target from Cleveland. It's a lot of talk about that. Talk about that one day, not today. But the Then you have Sony Michel is playing at a high level. I think they said Cam Akers was a full participant in practice. They're doing the thing. And then you got Cooper Kupp, of course, who's going to break maybe the receptions record. And I mean, I don't know. He said that 17 games. He was kind of really humble about it. He was like, you can't forget the guys who've done it in 16 games. So we're gonna probably see a lot of single season records get broken because of the extra game, but it's okay. 15 years from now, people won't even. Well, they play 18 games. People won't even realize it. And the offense of the 49ers is good. It's just the health of Jimmy Garoppolo, and for the defense, this is a good pick. 49ers defense has been playing good. I just got to go with the Rams just because of Aaron Donald, his physicality. You got Leonard Floyd. I mean, they're star-studded, man. Jalen Ramsey. You got Von Miller. You got Hall of Famers. Hall of Famers probably on both sides of the ball when it's all said and done. Coaching, man, this is a close one. I'm not gonna lie, man. Shanahan has definitely turned around. I remember we were like, "Oh, should Shanahan lose his job?" It was a speculation. No, he's not going anywhere. They're focusing dialed in and playing good. But I got to give it to Sean McVay. The slight edge. I don't think Sean McVay has a losing season yet. He's trying to catch Mike Tomlin, so that's gonna be. That's a tough task. So I give it to Sean McVay. Overall, it was a surprising stat. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams. But then when I looked, I said they haven't beat the 49ers since 2018. It's something about, like Corey said, with the Patriots. Like, if you're a betting man, you have to take that into account, right? They haven't won since 2018. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 games. They're 0-5 against the 49ers. And last time they played the 49ers dominated. And, we'll see it again. The 49ers play with physicality and they run the ball. So I think this is going to surprise people. I think they're going to lock in. I think they're going to play a 2-quarterback system. They're going to play some of Jimmy. They're going to play some of Trey Lance. They're going to run the ball a ton. And I think that's going to hurt the Rams by keeping their offense off the field. And I have the 49ers winning 24-20. All right, Craig.
Hey, this is tough because I don't really trust either quarterback at this point. Stafford has the better numbers, and he's more healthy than Jimmy Garoppolo. But I've never liked Jimmy Garoppolo. I just don't think he's a good quarterback.
You would like everybody else, man.
I don't care what his record is. But anyway, you look at Stafford, his last 3 games, like he has 7 turnovers, 6 of them interceptions. He's done 4 pick sixes, I believe, this season or something like that.
Yeah.
He's just not.
I think he threw a pick six last game. Last game.
Baltimore. And then you barely beat Baltimore with Lamar Jackson out. If Huntley doesn't throw that interception late in the second quarter, that kind of changed the whole momentum of the game, and then it kind of went from there. But if Stafford just hasn't played well the last 3 weeks, I just don't know if I can trust him. But I do trust him a little bit more than Jimmy Garoppolo, just because Jimmy Garoppolo is hurt, and he's coming back, trying to get this team into the playoffs after last week. He didn't even play. So, like you said, Cam Akers is back for the Rams. They have Cooper Kupp, who's arguably the best or playing the best at the wide receiver position this season. Odell looks like he's finally found his place for the first time in years. So Tyler Higbee's out there. Obviously, they don't have Woods, but they're making do with who they have right now. And then they have Sony Michel still. So they have a solid group of players on that team, on that offense, that should definitely get the job done. I mean, Deebo Samuel's, he's playing like he can't be stopped really, and Elijah Mitchell, when he's healthy, he's a solid running back. It's just they haven't really had a healthy running back pretty much all season. So, but it just comes down to the quarterback position. And even though Stafford is struggling the way he is, and he's playing at home finally, and maybe he can get that monkey off his back and beat the 49ers team and go into the playoffs hot, and where he has never won. So maybe he'll treat this as like a big time playoff game, and he'll do something that we haven't seen before, and not at least in the last 3 weeks, and not turn the ball over. The defense, I think it's even. I think it's a push. I think both defenses are playing solid. Obviously, the Rams defense is not the same defense that we seen last year, and the 49ers defense is not the same defense that was out there last year or the year before last. So, but I would definitely give it a push on that one. It's close. I think the 49ers defense is starting to play well, although they just haven't really been, I guess, healthy pretty much all season for the most part. Coaching wise, I'm going McVay. I think he's done a solid job I actually think both coaches have done a solid job. I mean, the 49ers, they've had to deal with the quarterback and defensive players being out and basically opposite players being out. But I'm going to the Rams just because they have a 5-game winning streak. Even though the quarterback is not playing great, they're going into the playoffs on at least if they can get this win on a 6-game winning streak, and they could potentially be the division winner and the number 2 seed. So picking the Rams in this game. I think they bounced back from that 31-10 loss that they had earlier in the season, and they get the job done here. I think, at least I'm thinking, Stafford goes off in this game. I'm going 31-20, the Rams.
All right, cool. Corey, 49ers and Rams, who you got?
This one, offensively, I'm going to give the edge to the Rams. Both teams have great play callers, but as Garoppolo with the injured thumb, who knows how well he's going to be throwing the football. The Rams are they hit a slump at the wrong time of the year. They may have peaked early. They're stumbling a bit, but it does seem like Odell's working his way into the offense, which is good. Sonny Michel has gone off. He's averaging almost 100 yards a game the last 3 games. And so I'm going to lean, as Craig said, to the Rams offensively just because of the quarterback position. Stafford is reportedly dealing with injuries as well, but I do trust Stafford more than I do Garoppolo or Lance.
Yeah.
Defensively, I'm going to go the Rams as well, just because, as we said earlier, this is a playoff game.
Yeah.
And in a playoff game, I'm going to lean on the stars, and I trust Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey and Von Miller to step up and make a play at some point to give them an edge. Coaching, you have to lean McVay right now, just the win-loss. He's had a bit more success than Shanahan on the whole. But Shanahan's done a good job of, when this season looked like it was kind of spiraling out of control, to kind of right the ship and get back on a winning track. So, kudos to him for that. On the whole, I think that the last month might have done something positive for the Rams.
Okay.
When Akers went down, they came out, they were throwing the ball over the field. It was a pass-happy offense. I think you have to have some balance offensively to win in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And Stafford's struggles has forced McVay to lean on the running game more. And Sonny Michel stepped up. I know Cam Akers is coming back. I expect nothing from him. I'd be surprised if he plays still, just because a running back coming off an Achilles, he's not going to be himself in the playoffs. He may not even be himself next year. But I think the Rams offense being able to find some balance, combined with Odell stepping up and starting to fill that void left by Robert Woods a little bit, gives me more faith in the Rams right now. So I'm gonna go with the Rams, but I think it'll be a lower scoring game. So I'm gonna go with them 20-17.
Okay. Yeah, I think these 3 games are going to be they're going to be good. I can't wait to actually watch them.